Day 22 of our Viking European Sojourn trip found us in Wertheim, Germany. A beautiful picture postcard town of what you think the German countryside or town should look like. We had a guided walking tour of the town that lasted about an hour and then some free time to explore on our own. Some people took additional excursions such as up to the fortress, but we decided to do that on our own. Others decided to kick back in the central square and have lunch and a beer and just enjoy the sights and the people passing by. The town was only a short distance from our boat, but Viking decided to provide this little tour train to get us in, but you could have walked it on your own. And we decided to walk it back when we returned to the ship. Now, Wertheim is famous for its black forest and velvet cake, and our tour guide decided to tease us a little bit as we were walking through the streets. He got into one of the pastry shops and hung out a window and ate his cake while we passed by. Wertheim, Germany was once a sovereign state capital until Napoleon's conquest. Our knowledgeable guide revealed the town's resilience in the face of frequent river flooding, highlighting watermarks on buildings and the limitations of protective walls due to the sandy terrain. So they keep on getting flooded even in this modern age.
Inside the water. And then when the train goes back and forth, it looks like it's driving on top of the water. It looks weird. The worst flood we ever had was the one 1732. The water came completely unexpected by the end of September, and people drowned at night sleeping in their bedrooms. But that was the only time ever people have been killed during a flood. Nowadays, with modern computer technology, they can tell us a week ahead, up to 1 inch, 2-3 centimeters. We know when the water is coming, we know how high it's going to be, but we cannot keep it out of our time. And as you can tell, it's been happening throughout.
During our walking tour, we discovered Wertheim's unique architectural heritage, including a leaning tower destabilized by floodwaters. Also, the 13th century castle, partially destroyed during the 30 Years' War. The castle offers stunning city and river views, and it only costs €2 to enter it. You can tour part of it without entering, but I recommend paying the €2, but you have to have exact change because there's nobody to collect your money. They use a turnstile, so you have to use coins, and you can probably get those from your captain or in town from one of the stores. Our guide was really fantastic. She led us into St. Mary's Church at one point, and we sat down and she explained to us the Jewish European history of the area, and in particular the impact of Pope Innocent's decree in the 1200s and its effect on the Jewish community. Our walking tour lasted a good hour and a half, and then we had free time to do whatever we wished. A lot of people just wandered the city on their own, but Viking also has a couple of extra tours you can take. One included going up to the castle that you see here on the hill, but it is only a 15-minute walk, and you can do it yourself, and that's what we elected to do. And then others who were a little less ambitious decided to go back to the main square. There were lots of open area cafes available, sat down and had lunch and a beer. But we headed up to the castle. As I said, it was only a 15-minute walk up here. Entrance fee is only €2, and there's nobody here to get money from. It's just a turnstile. You pay your €2 and you wander the castle grounds. Now, the castle history is very interesting. It's a medieval fortress dating back to the 13th century, meaning it was built in the 12th century. Probably took 100 years or so to build it. I'm sure there's been modifications. But during the 1700s, during the 30 Years' War, it was totally destroyed. Now, the destruction didn't come from an assault. It happened due to an explosion in the stored munitions room. So somehow it got set on fire, and that blew up the castle, and unfortunately, they never repaired it. Still, much of the structure is still there, and it's a great thing to do, to walk around it and check it all out. It's actually quite large and very interesting. And if you just don't really care for castles, it's still worth seeing because the views from it of the city and the river are fantastic. We could even see our ship, the Viking Lift, docked at the river, and we knew exactly where to head to when we wanted to go back to our boat.
The
Castle in Wertheim. This used to be a drawbridge, but now it's a stone bridge as of 1785.
There's bathroom here, we should try to use them. I'll be right over.
So the other good things to know is they have some public bathrooms here. They're free. To the left of the turnstiles to enter the facility, and to the right they actually have a cafe, so you can have actually lunch up here, which is a great thing to do. Castle costs you €2, and you just got to bring your coins because there's nobody here to guide you through it. You just go into a little turnstile and insert your coin to get entrance. This is the Holder Tower, it says. Erected in the 15th century. This fortress was built in the 12th century, or started, and then constantly expanded. And then during the civil, or the 30-year war between the Protestants and Catholics, it was destroyed and never rebuilt. So we're in the inner keep of the Wertheim Tower, or castle I should say. Gonna go up the final section, what's left of it, the tower here. Beautiful. So we're still scaling the tower, or the keep I guess I call it. And we can see the Main River, and that's our boat, the Viking lift. Just docked outside of town. Once you get to the river, it's probably only about a 10-minute walk.
You want to go to the top, Jay?
Oh yeah. Up the inner keep we go.
Oh yeah.
Good steps. But more than just a few.
Ach du Scheiße.
Just a few windows. And we have success. We have navigated the top. And again, our boat, or I say our ship, the Main River. a residential area, Wertheim, and then the city center. So this is the Altstadt, the old town. You can see some remnants of the city walls. And a convenient restaurant right at the bottom. So the castle tour took us under an hour, including the walk up and back down. So thought I would bank on it at least an hour there, and if a little longer if you want to have lunch. And then we came back to town and wandered the city streets there. Lots of fun to explore because the architecture is just extremely interesting. Every house is different. They've got these sort of wooden beams that hang out or basically support the walls, and that's very unusual to what we see in Canada and North America, but I guess not all that unusual in some of the Scandinavian and European countries. So nice to see here, a nice architectural detail. All the streets are, I would say, not straight, and lots of little aisleways and places to go down and check out, and lots of different shops to explore as well. I think the stumble stones are supposed to be located around here. Just beautiful walking streets here. But then reality hits when you look at the marks of the floods. And that's over 7 feet high in 1845, the floods. So after lunch, we walked back to the ship, the Viking lift, and continued our scenic sailing down the Mainz River, or the main river. And we finished up the day having a very unique dinner, their Bavarian or German dinner, and it was a lot of fun, and they were all dressed up, and the food was the typical, what you would suspect of German cuisine should be. Anyways, lots of fun, and I'll show you that next. So this is our Oktoberfest German dinner. It's a specialty dinner, so there's no open menu here, but they can serve it at your table, or you can go up to the main station and pick out exactly what you want. But it's got your traditional pretzels, they had sausages, lots of beer, of course, and then ham hocks or pig knuckles, things like this, and anything you want, and of course pasta as well. Lots of dessert, lots to choose from. Nobody left this place feeling hungry, I can tell you that much. A great evening, and the crew put on a bit of a show. Very enjoyable. And I think it'll be something that I think everybody enjoyed, and you will as well.